There is a very old pharmacy that most biohackers still ignore. It does not live in smart fridges or designer capsules. It moves in waves. It is the ocean. Every day the sea produces molecules that never existed on land. Some of these behave like tiny tools for our cells. They can calm inflammation, limit damage, support repair, and help tissues stay functional for longer. In this episode, we will explore how compounds from marine life, from food to drug level, are being studied as levers for healthy aging. We will look at what is real, what is still early, and how you might use some of these signals safely as part of your routine. I am Dr. XENOVITAS. If you want to work with your biology instead of against it, welcome back. What biohacking drugs really are. When people hear the words biohacking drugs, they often imagine a pill that stops aging overnight. Real science is calmer than that. Biohacking drugs, in the way we will use the term here, are compounds that influence biology before disease appears. They interact with cell repair systems, energy production, and the control of inflammation. Some belong to the world of prescription medicine. Others are concentrated extracts of foods or marine organisms. A few live in the gray zone between advanced supplements and future drugs. Traditional medicine waits for damage to become serious and then treats it. Biohacking as a concept tries to support function early, when systems are still flexible. That is the idea. But it is only useful when it is grounded in careful evidence and respect for safety, not in fantasy or force. The surprising part is that many of the most interesting molecules in this space are not made in high-tech factories. They are made by simple organisms in the sea. Why the ocean matters for aging. The ocean is one of the harshest environments on Earth. Life under the surface deals with cold, pressure, strong currents, limited light, and constant oxidative stress. Yet many marine organisms repair, regenerate, and maintain function for very long periods. Human aging often begins as quiet erosion. Oxidative damage, low-grade inflammation, and overwhelmed repair systems slowly change how our tissues behave. Marine life faces similar threats every day and has evolved molecules to survive them. This is why scientists study the compounds that protect marine cells. Pigments from microalgae, complex sugars from seaweed, and short protein fragments from fish and invertebrates can all interact with our own biology. In laboratory and early human studies, they often reduce markers of damage, support antioxidant defenses, and influence pathways linked with longevity. The ocean, in this sense, is not only food, it is a library of molecular strategies for resilience. Our work is to learn from that library without pretending it is magic. Marine fats as a base layer. Before we talk about more exotic tools, we need a foundation. One of the best supported marine signals for long-term health is simple: long-chain omega-3 fats from fish and microalgae. These fats are built into the outer layer of almost every cell in your body. They are especially important in the brain, the heart, and the immune system. When your membranes are richer in these flexible fats, cells tend to send calmer signals, respond more gently to stress, and keep blood flow more cooperative. Large reviews and clinical trials link regular intake of marine omega-3 fats with lower risk of fatal heart events, support for normal blood lipids, and in some people, a calmer inflammatory profile. For many adults, a base pattern of 2 or 3 portions of small, low-contaminant oily fish per week is a realistic target. For those who do not eat fish, certain microalgae oils can provide similar fats without using animals from higher in the food chain. Think of this as the base layer. It is boring compared with a futuristic peptide, but it sets the environment in which more precise tools can act. Microalgae pigments and peptides. Now we can move deeper into the water and look at microalgae. Some of the most intense colors in salmon, shellfish, and even in laboratory models come from microscopic algae. One of the best-known pigments is a red compound called astaxanthin. It is a fat-soluble antioxidant that sits inside cell membranes and helps stabilize them against oxidative damage. Human studies have shown that it can reduce markers of oxidative stress and inflammation, and in some trials it has improved skin hydration, elasticity, and fine lines over several weeks at specific doses. Some microalgae, such as spirulina, chlorella, and dunaliella, also produce peptides and carotenoids that influence internal defense systems, gut environment, and resistance to stress in experimental models. These effects are early, but they tell us that microalgae are small factories of bioactive signals. In practical terms, you meet these compounds when you eat naturally colored seafood or when you use supplements derived from specific algae. Used wisely, they are not beauty filters. They are structural support for your skin, eyes, and nervous system. Peptides from marine invertebrates. Beyond algae, many small animals in the sea live under constant stress. Mussels cling to rocks beaten by waves. Clams and snails deal with changes in salt, oxygen, and toxins. From these animals, researchers have isolated short protein fragments, called peptides, that can protect cells against damage. Certain peptides from mussels have reduced cell death under oxidative stress in laboratory settings. Small peptides from clams and snails have shown strong antioxidant effects because their size allows them to move quickly and reach vulnerable structures. The common theme is this: aging is partly a story of damage rising faster than repair. When a peptide can limit damage or support better repair, even slightly, it may slow that story in specific tissues. Most of these peptides are not yet ready as consumer products. They live in the world of early research, but they point to a future where some medicines and advanced supplements will be shaped by very simple marine animals. Sea cucumber and collagen preservation. Sea cucumbers are soft-bodied animals that can regenerate parts of their body after injury. They live on the ocean floor and are exposed to constant physical and chemical challenges. Compounds from some species of sea cucumber have been linked in research with better collagen structure, improved skin hydration, and reduced tissue breakdown. In many cultures, sea cucumber has been used as a traditional food for joint and skin support, and modern studies are starting to clarify why. Collagen is a key structural protein in skin, joints, blood vessels, and many organs. When it breaks down faster than it is rebuilt, tissues become weaker and less elastic. Marine compounds that help preserve collagen or support new collagen production may have effects that go far beyond appearance. We need more human studies to know exactly how strong and reliable these effects are. But the early data suggests that sea cucumber is not only an odd food, it is a lesson in regeneration. Marine collagen and human evidence. Fish skins and connective tissues are rich in collagen. When processed into smaller fragments called collagen peptides, they become easier for the human gut to absorb. Multiple human trials have found that marine collagen peptides can improve skin hydration and elasticity, reduce some types of wrinkles, and support recovery of skin after sun-related damage over weeks or months at specific daily doses. Some studies also suggest benefits for joint comfort and function. Collagen does not work alone. It needs vitamin C, protein from the rest of your diet, and low levels of chronic inflammation to build and maintain a strong matrix. Marine collagen is one way of feeding that system from the inside. In a biohacking context, collagen is not a miracle. It is a building block. For someone who already eats enough protein and manages basic lifestyle habits, adding marine collagen may be a gentle way to support tissues that carry a lot of load, such as skin, joints, and blood vessels. Japanese aquatic fermentation and Trappa japonica. Japan has a long tradition of combining marine foods with fermentation. Fermentation can change the structure of proteins and sugars, producing new peptides with different effects. One interesting example is Trappa japonica, a water plant used in certain regions. When it is fermented and processed, it produces peptides that have shown several effects in research models. These include reduced breakdown of collagen, increased collagen production, improved wound healing, and protection of cells in hair-related tissue. A topical study in humans has reported a reduction in wrinkles around the eyes after several weeks of use. This is only one illustration of a broader pattern. When you take an aquatic ingredient and put it through a thoughtful fermentation process, you often unlock new bioactive compounds that were not present in the raw material. It reminds us that biohacking drugs from the sea are not always simple extracts. Sometimes they are the result of a partnership between marine biology and traditional food science. How ocean-based biohacking works together. Let us step back and see the full picture. We have marine fats that shape cell membranes, pigments and peptides from algae that protect against oxidative stress, compounds from invertebrates and sea cucumbers that support collagen and cell survival, fermented aquatic plants that enhance skin and tissue renewal. At a deeper level, many of these tools are doing similar jobs. They neutralize damaging molecules, support your internal defense enzymes, protect the tiny energy factories inside cells, and influence how your immune system and connective tissue behave. None of these compounds are standalone solutions. They work best when your base habits are aligned with health. A calm nervous system, regular movement, stable sleep, and a mostly whole food diet create the stage. Marine compounds, whether from food, supplements, or prescribed treatments, are then smaller levers that can tilt the system in a better direction. Limits, safety, and reality. It is important to be very clear about limits. Much of the research on marine peptides and exotic compounds is still in cells or animals. Even when human trials exist, they often involve small groups and specific conditions. There is also a question of safety. Compounds that help cells survive and grow must also avoid encouraging uncontrolled growth. Pathways that protect collagen and energy production need to be balanced against cancer risk and other long-term concerns. This is why serious drug development moves slowly and carefully. On the consumer side, the biggest risks are different. The sea is polluted in many regions. Large, long-lived fish can accumulate heavy metals. Some seaweeds can concentrate iodine at levels that are not safe for people with thyroid problems. Poorly controlled supplements can contain contaminants or inaccurate doses. For these reasons, any strong marine product, especially if it calls itself a biohacking drug, should be used with guidance from a healthcare professional who knows your history. Respect for potency is part of real biohacking, a practical marine pattern you can use. Now let us translate this into something you could actually live with. Imagine a week where your foundation is 2 or 3 portions of small, oily fish, such as sardines or mackerel, with plenty of vegetables and some olive oil. Once or twice per week, you add a small serving of seaweed in soup or salad, if your thyroid health allows. If you do not eat fish, you might use a microalgae-based omega-3 oil and a marine protein-enriched food as alternatives, under guidance. On top of that, if your clinician agrees, you might layer a moderate dose of marine collagen and a carefully chosen astaxanthin supplement. Both are taken daily for several weeks or months, while you also protect your sleep, manage stress, and avoid smoking and heavy drinking. You are not trying to copy everything we have discussed. You are using a few marine tools that fit your body, your ethics, and your budget, as part of a long-term routine rather than a short-term experiment. Conclusion: what to do next? The point of this episode is simple. The ocean is not a magic cure for aging, but it is one of the richest sources of molecules that support the same systems that age more gracefully when we care for them well. Blood vessels, brain cells, skin structure, immune tone, and metabolic flexibility. Real biohacking does not fight your biology, it listens to it. If you choose to bring more marine compounds into your life, focus on patterns, not on single pills. Build a base of safe, sustainable food choices. Add more concentrated tools only where they clearly fit your health context. If this perspective was helpful, please give this video a like, subscribe to the XENOVITAS channel, and share it with someone who loves both science and the sea. That helps this work reach more people who need calm, evidence-based guidance. I am Dr. Leo Vitas. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video.